Welcome back. Starbucks. I was out today, and when we are through with the unboxing of this box right over here, which I received from a viewer, I want to talk to you about something that I encountered today. And this is one of those, I'm just going to throw it out to the jury. Is it me or, or am I the only one who is reacting like this? Could be, I'm the first to admit that I'm getting a little punchy from this enforced quarantine. I don't like social isolation very much, and I really don't like being told what to do. So maybe it is just me, but I'll throw it out to you anyway, and we'll decide collectively. All right, when we get back, we're unboxing from one of our viewers. Okay, here is our box. So I know I keep saying I'm not going to use knives, not in front of you anyway, so that I can sneak off to the emergency room if I have to and nobody will be the wiser. I didn't realize we had a little card in here, but we're going to read the card. And, ooh, pretty little Hummels. Dear Sue, I'm not trying to be a copycat here. I just want to give a little handmade by me gift to your viewers. All right, we got a giveaway here. I've so enjoyed your giveaways. I've been making earrings since my husband passed away with the thought of selling them, but I'm not prepared to do that yet. Well, this isn't the world's best time to get into selling. Not necessarily because I don't think people are buying, but because I think things like getting to the post office, getting the supplies you need, that can be a little daunting right now. It gives me great pleasure to make jewelry and give it away to friends, and I consider you all in the jewelry community an important part of my life, since you've been so kind and given me great pleasure with the friendships I've made online. Sue, please use these earrings as giveaways or keep them your choice. Many kind regards, Stephanie, and she goes by Marie Teresa, and she is a frequent commenter on our videos, so let's hope we hear from her. And we are going to get this stuff out. We've got cups and saucers here too, not just earrings. We've got goodies. All right, let's take a look at the cups and saucers first. And we have wonderful breakaway tape, which is great. Oh, whoa. Now let's see what this is. Occupied Japan sample. That is beautiful. I'm going to get you a picture of that. And it looks like we've got the saucers here too. And once again, the lovely breakaway tape. And look at that. That is lovely. This is also Occupied Japan. Ooh. The saucer to match the cup. All right. And once again, our breakaway take. Beautiful. These are lovely. I really love the little tidbit trays made from pieces like this because they're perfect for jewelry, change, delicate things. It's not the sort of thing that I would think I would put in my kitchen to hold cream or sugar because, first of all, it's not going to hold very much. But the cups and saucers are like fabulous little jewels all by themselves. So that screams to me jewelry trays. Now let's take a look at what we've got for giveaways. Oh, these are beautiful. These are amber beads. As I say, pictures will follow. I'll make sure you get a chance to see all of these. Amber beads on beautiful gold wires. And of course, they have the little plastic stoppers in the back. And when I do these for giveaways, I get those stoppers in lots of 500. So I'm going to throw in a couple of extras for each of these because it's not like I don't have enough to spare. Ooh, what do we have? Oh my word. This is a beautiful little floral design on these little beads. This is lovely. And again, we've got the gold wires. That's beautiful. Oh, what are you? You are blue. We have some beautiful blue pieces. These remind me very much of some of the styles that were out in the 1940s. Now, of course, the dangle earrings were not such a big thing in the 40s, but the beautiful iridescent pieces like this, yeah, that's what it reminds me of. I like that. Now, let's look at this. This is, what am I going to call that? Strawberry. I'm going to call that strawberry. Some beautiful strawberry balls with some clear balls and just very lovely little gold filigree caps on the top. And these are a sort of, that reminds me of watermelon flavored candy, to be honest with you. I like that. That reminds me of my childhood. Do you remember those watermelon flavored candies? This is the shade they were. Really sweet. Let's get the rest of these out. Oh, this is fabulous. Okay, red, and we've got a sort of violet gray. Very pretty combination. And again, the little filigreed caps on top of the beads. This one. Oh, leaves. Wow, okay. This is beautiful green with little green dangling leaves. And there's little clear beads in the middle. That's really sweet. Got some beautiful dangles here. Very late 60s sort of style. I love it when it reminds me of my childhood. And this, okay. Red and black, beautiful floral designs. That's like very retro. That's sort of 50s. Yum. And we have a blue and green combination. Oh, my word. You know, before I saw the image on this card, all I could think of is how summery, how beachfront is that? All right. As you can see, we have some fantastic giveaways coming up. This is really great. So thank you, Stephanie. I will line those up because I'm going to have to start alternating. And I will sort this out so that we can get these giveaways going, because I'd like to get as many giveaways going while we are all stuck in house arrest, because there's nothing like a giveaway to pick up your spirits. And I definitely want I'm going to count these up is what I'm going to do. I'm going to count them up. I'm going to do a single giveaway, and I'm just going to let Audie pick. And we are going to have, it looks like we're going to have about a dozen winners on the single giveaway, because I think we could all use a lift at this point. This video will be, I believe, the 54th video I've done in a row. No break, just day after day after day. That means that we've been stuck together on lockdown 54 days. And I believe what we need to do is do something to liven our spirits. So next video, I'm going to set up this giveaway. Thank you, Stephanie. And I will let you all know what the giveaway rules are going to be, because on a larger, massive giveaway, I'm probably going to have to put, write-up rules. A little necklace here and there I can probably do without formal rules, but something like this, no. And then we will just pick winners and just go right down the line. All right, that is just beautiful. I'm sure that's going to really brighten people's spirits. I'm so pleased. All right, so the Starbucks. What happened? Well, I was out today, and I was not at an official Starbucks, but my local Target has a Starbucks in that store. And frankly, in my personal opinion, it's the best Starbucks in the area. The people there, now they've been closed down for, I don't know, at least a month. And I go in there usually maybe once a week. So I walked in there this morning. The first girl that, I shouldn't say that, the first woman, but she's so young. She's such a sweet little thing. So it's not sexist. It's a reflection of my age. I'm not trying to infantilize her. I walked in and she's like, "It's Sue, right?" And she started spouting off my order. That's what I like about this Starbucks. They pay attention to you. And so, of course, I had to get a cup of coffee to go, and it was another one of the young baristas in there. She immediately just started making it. So they pay attention to their customers, and they're really, really great. So it's one of my favorite little Starbucks. So I got my coffee, and I go outside of Target, and I'm waiting for the bus. Now, remember, I take the short bus coming and going. So while I'm waiting, in the space of about 10 minutes, I see 3 people coming out of Target, elderly people. We're talking about people older than I am, in wheelchairs or scooters. Now, yes, they were wearing masks, but we are talking about obvious high-risk people coming out of Target. Not with groceries, but with, home goods, which means it's not an absolutely essential shopping trip. Anybody can put off the purchase of a vacuum cleaner for a while. That's not a necessity. And so it was not just the wheelchairs. So 2 people coming out with infants in small-sized baby carriers. It is my opinion that these baby carriers were too small to hold any child over 6 months old, and I have seen a great many children under and over 6 months old, so it's not like I don't have a point of comparison. These were infants. Now, I could not see if the little babies had masks on, but I was reminded at that point of all of these public service announcements that we are all getting saying, well, you don't need to wear the mask for you, because there's some backlash. People are saying, hey, you need to stop telling me how to manage my healthcare issues. Well, it's not about you. It's about others. Now, I am a big proponent of reasonable accommodation. I kind of have to be, because I benefit from reasonable accommodation. And I also know what it's like to go through life without it. Because when I was a little blind kid back in the 50s, the idea of reasonable accommodation was just, it wasn't there. If you had said reasonable accommodation to someone, they would have just looked at you and said, what the heck does that mean? So I know what it's like not to have the accommodation you need. And personally, I'm willing to sacrifice quite a lot on a temporary basis, not a permanent basis, on an as-need basis, in order to accommodate people who require accommodation. As I said, I take the short bus. So every year I get a flu shot. Every other year I get a pneumonia shot. My doctor has told me I'm getting too many pneumonia shots. She said, they work more than that. I thought, oh, really? Okay, good, because I was getting a pneumonia shot every 2 years. Why do I do this? Not because I'm afraid of catching a flu, but because I know that the people on that bus are high risk, and if I give them flu, well, that's not good. And the dangers of me giving them flu weighed against the inconvenience of me going out and getting the flu shot, which is all I need to do in order to protect them. It's a no-brainer. Of course I'm going to do it. I strongly suggest everyone do that. If you are going to be in the company of elderly people, if you are going to be in the company of even younger people who are at risk, of course you should do what you need to do, because the inconvenience to you is very small. The benefit to them is very great. But am I willing to put my life on hold for months on end in order to protect people from the consequences of their own recklessness? For me, no. That's where I'm drawing the line in the sand. If I need to self-isolate, if I need to wear a mask to live as if I am under house arrest, then I expect the population that is supposed to be benefiting from this to at least use enough common sense to stay home. And I'm not seeing that. Like I say, infants, parents taking babies this big out. Where is, my goodness, as one of the clerks at Target had said, they must not like their kids very much. I'm thinking, yeah, it's probably a pretty good way to get rid of your baby. What on earth are they thinking? Older people out and about, it's like, oh yeah, well, I'll put on a mask. No, that's not what this is about. The fact is, the people who are at risk, and I say this to all of you who may be at risk, stay home. If you're at risk, don't go out. You have no idea how well protected you are going to be anywhere you go. Your best protection is stay at home. I don't feel it's reasonable to tell the vast majority of the population we have to give up things as fundamental as our right to walk out our front door to protect a segment of the population that will not protect themselves. And for me, it's an issue of reasonable accommodation. If I expect, and I don't expect, but I'm grateful when I've got it, if I can go into a store, and I've done this, pick up a product and they'll have Braille on the side of the box, how a freaking hallelujah, wow, this is great. On the other hand, it's up to me to accommodate myself by learning Braille. Same principle. If you want me to keep you safe, you need to do your part. And one of the most frightening things, and this did not happen today, it happened a couple of weeks ago, back to short bus, remember? I take the short bus, usually it's like 3 days a week, with some disabled young people who work at Walmart. They're my little bus buddies, and they are fantastic. And a friend who goes to dialysis. And she's in dialysis 3 days a week. That's when I go out and see her every morning. By the way, she's such a sweetie. She's been checking up on me to make sure I'm okay. She's doing what she needs to do. She's staying home. Her husband and her children are going out for her. She goes out to dialysis, which she must do. She goes home. So she is self-isolating, bless her heart. A few weeks ago, I ran into another woman that I see from the short bus, this real sweetheart, out in a grocery store, no mask. Now, masks were not required at the time. They are now. Out in the grocery store with her husband, which clearly meant she did not need to be there because her husband would have been doing the driving. And she is a dialysis patient. And I have been very sadly watching her. It's almost like she is disappearing ounce by ounce. I can see her losing weight. I can see her situation deteriorating. Now, I cannot tell you how heartbreaking it was to see her out in a store after coronavirus had struck and people were already saying, we need to keep social distance. We need to self-isolate. Frightening and reckless. Now, I really like her. I don't want to see anything happen to her. I cannot for the life of me understand why someone at such a high level of risk, keep in mind, the average person going through dialysis has about a 5 to 10 year life expectancy. So the odds are against her already. Wow. Like, if she can't stay home, me wearing a mask and staying 6 feet away is not going to do her any good. So I wanted to hear your feedback. Is it me? What do you think? Because I think that my obligation to look after the health of society in general pretty much stops when the vulnerable segment of society will not look after themselves. We're not talking about, well, we are talking about infants. All right, the babies, it falls on their parents. Their parents are taking them out. I don't know what to say about that. But when I'm talking about the older people going out, they're old enough to know better. Is that fair? Is that reasonable? And how do you feel about it? Because for me, we've moved from reasonable accommodation to unreasonable accommodation, to the realm of expecting everyone in society to suffer the price of someone else's reckless behavior. What are your thoughts? So you can see that annoyed me. How about a little word origins before we go? So I keep turning this upside down. I have no idea why. All right. All right. Sceptic. Examine carefully. The Greek philosopher Pyrrho started a new school of thought some 3 or 4 centuries before Christ, and he and his followers are regarded as the first skeptics. The epithet skeptic was innocent enough at the beginning. It was taken from the Greek word skeptomai, which merely meant to look at something carefully and examine and consider it. Pyrrho felt that our physical senses were admittedly unreliable, and that we could, therefore, never know the true nature of things. With this in mind, he taught his pupils to look out upon the world with an unruffled indifference, and to more or less permanently suspend judgment. With the passing of the time, the name skeptic was applied to anyone who questioned things too much, notably anyone who had doubts about the Christian religion. Stigma, literally a brand. While stigma with us is an unpleasant mark of disgrace, it used to be a lot more painful than that. When the officials stigmatized a petty criminal in 17th century England, they actually branded him with a red-hot iron. The Newgate calendar tells of a hangman who was so ignorant that he could only burn the letter T for thief on the palm of the culprit, this being the only letter of the alphabet he knew. The word stigma in Greek meant a brand by a pointed instrument. All right, supercilious, lifted eyebrows. Those who wish to be snooty and lift their noses in the air are acting out a slang word. Those, however, who prefer to be supercilious and express their disdain by merely raising their eyebrows are portraying a word that is neither touched nor tainted by slang. Our word, supercilious, is a direct descendant of Latin supercilium, haughtiness, which splits into super, above, and cilium, eyelid. Raise your eyebrows, and there you are, the picture of disdain. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Remember, tell me what you think about the extent to which those of us who are not at risk should be expected to surrender our rights and privileges to accommodate those who are at risk but refuse to take care of themselves. Let me know in the comments. And again, those of you who are at risk, for heaven's sake, stay home, stay safe. I will see you all tomorrow. And like I said, next time out, I am going to work out a giveaway on this, and we're going to do it a little differently. It's sort of going to be a mass giveaway. Those are beautiful earrings. Okay, I will see you all later. Pictures coming up.